Assalamu alaikum. My name is Destiny. I am a Muslim revert. I reverted to Islam 10 years ago. I want to share a little bit about my journey and answering some questions that I feel like are going to help all those people who are on their journey to Islam, recently converted, or are like me and they're a few years into reverting to Islam. What made me curious is that I had met some Muslims and I had saw them fasting for Ramadan, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, what is that? And I actually began reading the Quran, but I actually did an Arabic English translation on YouTube. I can link it below. But that's what really sort of started me on this journey of wanting to know what exactly was this religion? What was it about? What did it have to do with things? A little bit of an embarrassing question because I grew up in the South. I grew up in a small town and very heavily Christian conservative. And so growing up, I really had these misconceptions of Islam, thinking that it was, this religion that was all about war. And that's sort of what my whole family thought, and some still do even to this day. So this is a little bit of a harder question because like I said, I started getting interested in learning about the religion and started reading the Quran and was sort of just soaking it all up. And then one day I was going through some things and I basically made dua, but at the time I didn't know that it was dua. I just was making a supplication, and I distinctly remember saying, oh Allah, if I'm saying it right, if that's right, can you help me with this, what I'm going through? And it got worse. It got worse. But as months went on and ended up, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala solved that problem for me. And I didn't see it in the moment, but looking back on it, I can see how, going through what I went through and how it got a little bit worse and how it wasn't going well, even after I made that supplication, really was a favor for me, because I managed to get out of a situation that I was in and fully get out of it and not turn back. And so, alhamdulillah. My story is a little bit different, I think, than a lot of reverts, whereas I made that supplication. I think that things got a little bit worse for me, and then things got better. And I was practicing Islam before I took my Shahada, because I didn't know that I should take my Shahada. And it was also dealing with a lot of life things, right? And obviously I believed it in my heart, but just given my circumstances, given my struggles, I did not take my Shahada. I took it a few months after that, actually. And when I finally took it at the masjid, it was amazing. And it was something that I knew I'd already believed and was already learning how to practice Islam, learning how to be a Muslim, learning what to do and what not to do. And so it came easy for me, and it was sort of the step that I felt like I was missing. Not good. My family did not react good. Like I said, I'm from a pretty small town in the South, and both sides of my family are pretty Christian conservatives, and so obviously they did not react well, and it was really quite hard for me at the beginning. Some people stopped speaking to me because of this decision, but some of the closest family I have, which are my brother and my sister. My brother and my sister always sort of accepted me. They were like, this is a little weird, Destiny, but not weird, but this is a little bit left field. but they really always sort of embraced me. And then other close family members that I have really come around. They've come around to accept the fact that this is not a phase, and this is what I do believe. And so we actually don't often talk about religion, and I often don't talk about Islam, because, you know, I have talked to them about it, but in recent years and months, I've sort of felt like it's maybe best not to bring it up, to not start an argument. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Please let me know if you have any other questions that I didn't answer here, or if you feel like there are things you want to sort of talk about. And I have another video on my YouTube that really goes into depth on my story on how I reverted back to Islam, and so I would love for you to watch that. And if you can, follow me and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you.